Cinema Rules Podcast, Episode 1.
You need to do it in... Oh, no, it's picked up. Cool.
It's satisfying. Do I have to go again? Right, let's go again. Cinema Rules Podcast, Episode 1.
Thanks.
Thank you.
So, if you haven't seen our prologue and you're a fan of the Cinema Rules channel...
And you're wondering, what the hell are these guys doing and why isn't this a reaction?
Go check out our prologue to the podcast video, which is on our channel, just the video before.
Yeah, it's a good bit of waffle on there as well, so you get a bit of an insight.
Yeah, we talk about a lot of things and the reason why we are here. But anyway, we've talked about that. Let's get into episode 1. I don't even know what I'm doing
What are
anymore.
we talking about first? Let's talk about, Sean, film, because it's Cinema Rules.
What is film?
Have you been to the cinema this week?
I haven't.
Well, you're a letdown then. You need to be
I was actually
supporting your local cinema establishment.
I was thinking about going literally today, but I wouldn't have come back in time for the podcast.
Yeah. Well, what were you going to see?
The bike riders.
Without me?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm not
That's
sure.
why I don't want to do reactions anymore, because I don't want to do them
I'm
with
not
you.
sure about the bike riders. This cast is absolutely stacked.
Mm.
Austin Butler.
Tom
and
Hardy.
I forget. Tom Hardy. Isn't Walking Dead's...
Daryl Dixon.
Daryl Dixon in it.
Yeah.
So if there's a motorbike in the film, he's in it.
That's not his real name, I don't think.
Daryl Dixon.
No,
but I forget the actor's name. But the cast
Norman
is great,
Reedus,
and Austin Butler is riding a high at the moment.
He is. He's in everything.
I am excited for that. I am really excited for that film. But I'll go and see it with you. Thanks for the invite.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I haven't been to cinema this week, but
I've watched a film this week.
What have you watched?
A rewatch.
Because I've done some rewatching on myself.
Okay.
I haven't watched any new films, but I've rewatched 2.
Oh, 2 this week.
Yeah, already.
I did. Well, you go first, and then I'll go second.
Okay, I'll tell you one film I've rewatched recently. 2 films I've rewatched this week. One I've seen 1,000 times, and the other one I haven't seen in ages. I rewatched Logan.
Ooh.
By James Mangold.
Is that the one that you've seen loads of times?
No. I'd only seen it once. I'd seen it in the cinema. Yeah.
Oh, it's such a good film.
James Mangold, man, is a great director. Yeah. I'll put The Dial of Destiny out of my mind for a bit. But before that, he did the other Wolverine film. And he did 3:10 to Yuma as well. I think he's a really good director. But I wanted to watch it, obviously, because Deadpool and Wolverine is coming out. Mm-hmm. And Sean Levy, who's directing that.
Yeah.
Who did Free Guy?
Yeah.
Ryan Reynolds' best mate, said that recently that Logan was one of the is the best comic book film ever made, and I was like, come on, man. I was like, I remember it being good. I remember it being great.
What comic book movie did you have in mind then?
What comic book film would I choose as the best comic book film
that you had in mind when you were like questioning?
It's not even the best. Logan's not even the best X-Men film.
Well, it's not really an X-Men film. It's a Wolverine film.
I guess. But I'd say X-Men 2 is the best X-Men film. But my favourite comic book film...
I wouldn't say X-Men 2. Sorry, I wouldn't say X-Men 2. I'd say Days of Future Past, my friend.
That is good. It is a really good film. But I love the original X-Men cast and those films. I get so much nostalgia for them. So much. And when Fox basically lost the plot and lost control... and started doing all different films, all different generations and so on. I just fell out of love with it. Yeah. But I did love First Class as well.
Yeah.
But my favourite comic book film in general would probably be Spider-Man 2.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I know it's cliche. I know people go to it all the time. But,
yeah.
But, even Spider-Man 1, you know.
Spider-Man 1 is a classic, and it's actually quite brutal. That the Willem Dafoe fight at the end is fucking vicious, great.
Mate. That's back out of the cinema, you know.
I know, yeah.
In our cinema, they're re-releasing all the Spider-Man films. Yeah. I don't know why, they just are.
They also are doing the extended edition of Lord of the Rings, but we've missed it.
Yeah, we did see that in COVID though.
We did, but not the extended.
Yeah. So I rewatched Logan, and
what did you think? Did you watch the noir version?
No. But okay. I mean, look. There's a bit of an obsession, I think, with releasing a film in black and white. Mad Max Fury Road did it. George Miller did it. They called it like Blood and Chrome. Yeah,
but that was 9 years ago.
The Chrome edition or something like that.
That was 9 years ago.
Look, just because a film gets re-released in black and white doesn't make it better.
It makes it more artsy, Tom, all right? Everyone knows it.
I think with Logan, it probably kind of like enhances the brutality and the darkness and the depression that's at the background of the film.
Yeah, the ominousness of it.
I did like it. I did really like it watching it for a second time. But it is a downer of a film.
It's depressing.
It is a downer of a film, yeah. And the one thing I think about it is that kind of with Ian, not Ian McKellen, Patrick Stewart as well, and Hugh Jackman. They do such a great job in the film, and I'm like, is that gonna be now tainted by bringing him back and being all jokesy and pally with Deadpool?
Well, I don't think so, because I think Hugh Jackman didn't want to come back for that reason. He closed out the character so well, but
he says he's coming back for the fans.
Is that what he said?
Yeah, he's coming back for the fans.
But they must have had a really good story for him to be convinced, because he said no for a while.
Well, I don't know. The trailers don't really reveal anything.
I don't even think it's
the
the same Wolverine.
Yeah,
from the trailers, it doesn't make it look like it's the same Wolverine.
Yeah, I like the film, and I like telling different stories in these worlds, these superhero worlds, but I also just miss the simplicity of having just a superhero X-Men team fighting a villain.
So what everyone in the world is now refusing to indulge in, you want more of now.
No. What I'm saying about with Marvel at the moment is they've got all these like interconnected stories.
Oh, I know what you mean.
Like the multiverse has just kind of overcomplicated everything, hasn't it? That you don't just get a villain fighting a superhero necessarily. And yeah, they can become generic.
Yeah.
But they can also be some of the best films, like Spider-Man 2, for example.
Yeah.
Right? So it depends. But I like rewatching it. I thought it was good. My problem, everyone loves Deadpool, right? Deadpool, he's the best MCU character. It's not that I don't like him. I think Ryan Reynolds is good. I still think he's like Mr. Rom-Com, isn't he? Like, my problem with Deadpool as a character is that the character could literally say or do anything, and you'd have people there like, that's Deadpool. Do you know what I mean? And
that's what Deadpool is.
Yeah. I get it. I find some of the humor like a bit infantile, and that's why I liked Logan, because it's just a mature story. It is depressing, but. And then there's an after credits of it, and it's just like they were going to do something else as well.
There was an after credits? I can't
there's an after credits of Logan, of where someone gets his blood in a vial. And it's meant to connect to the next X-Men, which I never watched. It was called Dark Phoenix. I never watched that one.
Oh, I did. Wait, Dark Phoenix, wasn't that set in the...
There was an X-Men 3 called The Last Stand, which had Phoenix in it.
Yeah.
But then they basically recreated that with the new cast, didn't they?
Yeah, they did the Dark Phoenix with... who was the villain's name? He was in Star Wars. Poe Dameron in Star Wars. What's his name?
That was Apocalypse.
That was Apocalypse.
That's what I mean.
Wait, hang
so
on.
many.
No, Dark Phoenix.
I don't remember came that film after Apocalypse.
What?
Yeah, it did so bad. Got so badly reviewed.
I need to see this. I can't remember that.
So badly reviewed. It came out afterwards that people didn't see it, and I didn't see it.
I didn't either.
I felt like I've whinged about Logan after watching it, but I did really like it. So
there's an X-Men film I haven't seen.
Yeah. I was gonna watch it, but I'm not that bothered.
Guess what rating IMDb gave it?
I'm gonna go 4.5.
No.
5.2.
No.
3.8.
No.
Go on.
5.7. Still shit.
Completely bog standard average then.
Yeah.
Maybe it's good, but I like Logan. I think Hugh Jackman's great. He's been playing Wolverine more than any actor has played
any other character,
any superhero character.
Any character,
really,
any character. Name a long-standing character in a movie.
Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man. He came back.
Yeah,
X-Men came first, though, didn't it? X-Men came first.
No, but technically, yeah. 2001
I'll
was
work
Spider-Man,
out how many times he's played Wolverine. He played him in the 3 original X-Men films.
I'd say 12.
First Class.
Yeah.
He appeared in Apocalypse. He was in Days of Future Past. He was in 3 Wolverine films.
Yeah. Logan.
Including Logan. And he's appearing again.
Maybe it's the 10th time then.
10th time? Maybe I got that wrong, but that's good going. And the fact that he can get ripped and get into that much shape still.
Yeah, but have you not seen it? So there was a lot of backlash online about his suit and the fact that it had sleeves, and they wanted to see his jacked arms.
But do you know why he had sleeves?
Why?
Because he had skin cancer. he's had skin cancer in the past.
Oh, I see.
So I think they did that for the outdoor scenes as a method of protection and that. But
Right.
there are still
Do you know
there's images that have come out where he doesn't have the sleeves as well. I think he might get him ripped off in a fight.
Yeah, but those are CGI arms.
So what do you mean?
Go and watch Corridor Cruise video.
Yeah, I like them.
They've replaced, because originally he had sleeves, and then they've replaced his arms with CGI.
But
arms.
I think that's the reason, because of the skin cancer thing.
I mean, it makes sense.
Yeah, which is it's good that they look after actors like that, isn't it?
Yeah.
But I mean, I don't know. That film might be great. It might be meh.
Yeah.
Never know.
I'm not as excited for Deadpool and Wolverine as I should be. I don't think. I'm scared it's just going to be average, and it shouldn't be average when you bring in Hugh Jackman back for as Wolverine.
Hopefully, it reignites people's.
I hope it has emotion.
That's my problem.
Deadpool,
that's my problem with Deadpool. That's exactly my problem. How can you get invested in a character that I know people? I haven't actually seen Deadpool 2.
Deadpool 2 has got emotional
bit of
moments,
emotion in there because of his girlfriend or love interest or whatever.
Yeah, definitely.
So maybe it'll be in there. Hopefully it will.
Hopefully. And from the trailer, there does seem to be some dark thoughts running around Wolverine.
Maybe he'll be the dramatic character. Then maybe they take that from Logan. Yeah. What have you been watching?
So I rewatched a very recent film that came out last year, actually, Evil Dead Rise. Did you ever watch that? Did you ever?
We watched it on the channel.
Did we?
Evil Dead Rise. Yeah, in the tower block.
Yeah.
We watched it on the channel.
Oh, Jesus. Maybe I've watched it 3 times then. I thought I only watched it once.
No.
See, this is why...
I think...
This is why... I probably blacked out.
Was it the first time you watched it?
No.
That was actually at my house still, I think.
Evil Dead Rise. Not Evil Dead.
Yeah, we watched Evil Dead Rise on the channel, mate. I'm going to find it up now.
There we go.
Sure we get
a
reaction. But this ties into our prologue, man. That
Yeah, I definitely just clocked out when I rewatched.
Right, let me just have a quick search to see if we actually did it, because unless we watched it without recording, but I definitely watched it with you. Evil Dead Rise.
The drink's so good.
Cinema rules.
Oh, apple and mango drink.
Mango. Evil Dead Rise reaction. Evil Dead Rise trailer reaction as well. We even did that.
I remember the trailer reaction got. Our reaction got 9K views more than the trailer. The trailer got a lot of views.
Yeah, I think they do, don't they?
That's pretty cool.
I think trailer reactions tend to...
Right, we're going back to reactions.
But a few trailers come out today, by the way. Smile 2. I never saw Smile.
Smile was actually an underrated film. But the problem I have with horror movies is that they start off so strong and so eerie, and then they just turned into generic...
Yeah, they can do,
bullshit.
Can't they? That was like that film we watched...
Barbarian.
Oh man, the opening, the first half of that was so good, and then
so
descended
different
into some generic little monster thing.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know how people. I don't know how you can face that though. I don't know how you can change things up. Then an epic monster battle at the end of horror movies.
Yeah,
because it's like it's just the natural
survival
way
of
going. Like, it's a natural plot. Progression, isn't it?
If there's one thing that I've been sure of ever since doing this channel is that horror is definitely my favourite genre.
It's so versatile.
Yeah, but my problem now that we're not reacting to horror films is that I have to now watch them by myself.
What about your wife?
She doesn't like horror films.
Wow, tough.
Well, I'm not saying she doesn't like them, but like...
We could still watch horror movies in the cinema, though. That's the point.
Yeah,
That's the point.
Exactly.
That's the point.
That's what I'm saying.
We're able to now go to the cinema and enjoy it.
Like the first Omen, man. I haven't seen a horror film. I don't think I've seen a horror film in the cinema because of the channel. Right. Since ages, like literally ages. Maybe even It Follows.
I watched,
if you remember that.
Yeah.
No. Obviously, Midsommar. We watched in the cinema. There was another one, wasn't there? I can't remember.
I can't remember.
So. What were you saying?
I won't say that. I won't continue with that conversation because it's a part of the game. So at the end of this podcast, we are going to play a small game of picking the best. Basically,
not our favorite. Not our favorite.
Not our favorite. It doesn't have to be our favorite. It's just picking a horror film.
Yeah.
Showing it to each other simultaneously.
It's called My Film's Better Than Your Film.
Yeah.
That's what I've coined it.
And we reveal what our film is, and then we have to argue why our film is better than the others. So that will be at the end of the podcast. So look forward to that. But yeah, so I watched.
I haven't even chosen mine yet. I'm gonna choose one on the spot.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I've already chosen.
I know
mine.
what you're gonna choose.
What do you think I'm gonna choose?
There's no point me saying because
no, say now.
You're gonna choose The Shining, obviously.
Why do you think that?
Because it's your favorite horror film.
No, it's not.
Well,
You've got that completely wrong.
Do
you even know?
I don't know the guy. What was your thoughts on Evil Dead Rise? Seeing it for it again then this week?
It was good. It was good.
By the way, they've just announced another Evil Dead film. I'm pretty sure. I'm sure they have. Let me get it up now. But
get it up
go
now.
on. You tell me your thoughts.
So I really like the Evil Dead franchise, not necessarily because it's scary. I think the first ever Evil Dead movie back in the 70s is still it does so well with tension. But with the new renditions, I'm just there for the gore. I'm there for the what are they called? I keep wanting to say the
Deadites.
The Deadites, yeah, that's it. I'm there for the Deadites. What I absolutely love about the Deadites is how they mix their the person's voice with the fucking demon's voice.
Yeah,
it's just
and they're comical. It reminds me. You watched them when you were pretty young as well, didn't you?
Yeah, my dad showed them.
They're the kind of films to watch though when you're young. Like I don't care like if it's got blood and gore and that, but they like it's fun. There's fun. It's like one of the films I was thinking of putting on My Film's Better Than Yours is Peter Jackson's Brain Dead.
Oh yeah,
and like the chaos of that film.
Love that film.
So this is what Deadline say. They report this was reported in like April. Francis Galuppi tapped to write and direct new Evil Dead movie. The project is described as only as an original story. That Galuppi developed and brought to Raimi and team. No word on plot or who will be producing. But then. There's another one here that says this is from Games Radar, director of upcoming Evil Dead spin-off teases the horror movie Crazy Lots of Deadites, a big statement.
Well,
is that bigger is always better kind of mentality, isn't it?
That's what I'm worried about.
Do you just have an army of... I mean, they had an army of Deadites, an army of darkness already.
Yeah, that's what I'm worried about. I can see the direction they're going because Evil Dead Rise was essentially letting the demons out, isn't it? It ended with that. However, like you said, I don't think bigger is better. What we said when we watched that film is what would be interesting is an origin story. So in
the priest that first.
So in Evil Dead Rise, you've got the vinyls, and it's of the priest, and even in the original Evil Dead, he's got the tape of the priest reading from this passage, finding it, and dealing with his priest brothers coming in and killing him. I think that isolated story on its own would be amazing to discover. I think an origin story in itself would be my direction if I was ever to pick up the film and direct it.
My direction would be I would take a book out of the film Prey that we watched on the channel, which was Predator, right? But they chose a different setting, or even a different time period.
Well, that's what it would be.
So that's what it would be.
It would be a very old Catholic, kind of like the first, like The Omen. Well, the first Omen wasn't that.
The first Omen.
When was that set?
It was a prequel. It
was in the 70s.
I think 70s. Yeah, the first one came out in the late 70s.
But you would set the origin story
just before that.
You would set the origin story of the Evil Dead in the 1800s, like early 1800s.
Yeah, you could do. You could do. Yeah.
So
you can set any time period.
Medieval.
Speaking of Prey, there's a new one coming out. Same director, but it's called Badlands.
Right.
It's Trachtenberg is called, I think.
Yeah.
He did 10 Cloverfield Lane, didn't
he? Did he?
Yeah. So he's doing this one, Badlands, but apparently it's another unique take on that Predator character and that universe, which I'm excited by because I thought Prey was great.
Prey was very good. It was surprisingly good, and they even said that they wish they released it in the cinema because of how well it did on streaming.
Yeah, they should have done. They should have released it in the cinema.
But what else has he done then? He's done 10 Cloverfield Lane. He's done Prey. He's done a couple of episodes of The Boys, which the new season's on currently. I've watched the first episode. He's done a couple of episodes of Black Mirror, some Stranger Things. He's done a lot of TV. But the films that he's done have all been really
10
good.
10 Cloverfield Lane was sick.
It was really good.
Yeah.
That was surprising as well.
So you liked rewatching Evil Dead Rise?
Yeah, I was a little bit disappointed because I was watching it with someone and I was saying, it's a really good horror movie, and then they said, well, it's not that. At the end of it, they said, oh, it's not that scary, and I kind of agree with them, which puts a downer on it. But at the same time, I'm like, well, it's not there to be scary necessarily. It's there to be tense. I know the term horror means
horror to horrify.
Yeah.
But it's not everything. It's not every film needs to be.
No, I'm there for the action, almost the horror action. Of it.
It's a horror comedy, really, isn't it?
Not Evil Dead Rise, no. Although she was laughing in it, so
yeah, there was some quite brutal scenes in there, weren't there? I remember the car at the end with the melon,
with the amalgamated
thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, it was good. But the news that I actually saw the other day is that I'm excited about is Steven Spielberg, his new film,
right,
based around UFOs.
Yeah.
Interesting enough. Put a pin in it.
I mean, I'll comment on the UFOs thing.
But then he has announced that the actor on board is Emily Blunt.
Oh, really?
Which is interesting because I don't think she's been in a Steven Spielberg film before.
No, she hasn't. But I can totally see her fitting that,
100%.
Especially since Oppenheimer as well. Since her role in that.
And that actually gets me excited more now. Not necessarily. I wasn't necessarily excited about Steven Spielberg's new film, which is a mad statement.
Right. That is a mad statement, but he has been going on. He's been going in a different direction.
He's just been in the background. He's been in the background.
He's been doing historical, biographical film or autobiographical films, biographical films that mean something to him on a personal level. I think,
maybe.
But this is a step back. I've heard to those family adventure films like E.T. and like Jurassic Park,
which is what
excites me.
Yeah, 100%.
My only issue is the UFO thing.
Why?
Because E.T. is such a staple of cinema.
Hang on a minute.
And Close Encounters of the Third Kind is a great staple as well. And I know that means he's done two different great sci-fi films. He's done a lot of other sci-fi films. Minority Report, AI, artificial intelligence, that he finished for Kubrick, didn't he? I think.
Yeah.
And the UFO in Kingdom of the Crystal Skull. But I just wonder. I hope the idea is fresh and original, and it's also being written by the guy who wrote Kingdom of the Crystal Skull, by the way. This new film. So
I'm out.
Take it with I'm out. Take it with a pinch. Take it with however way you please. But I am excited about it. And the Emily
Worlds,
and Emily Blunt's casting, to me, I want him to capture that magic of Jurassic Park.
Yeah,
and E.T., where literally it is like magic going to the film.
It's not going to happen.
Is that because we were kids at the time?
Yes, and
maybe you can.
And it's also
maybe
it's the era of like technology.
Maybe you can do it for a whole new generation. My only problem is Spielberg. I think these films I'm thinking about, the BFG that he did.
Didn't see it.
Ready Player One. What did you think of that?
I thought it was entertaining but soulless because of too much CGI.
Yeah, maybe it was a CGI. And then there was another one I was going to say. I actually liked the Adventures of Tintin that he did. I thought that was pretty well made. That reminded me of Raiders a bit.
But I thought Peter Jackson was going to do the part 2 of it. But that never
he's still saying he is, but it's been 13 years. Avatar 2 came out after 13 years, so...
True.
But, so you are excited about that, yeah?
I am. But more so now that Emily Blunt's attached to it, because I like Emily Blunt. I like whatever she does, really. But Steven Spielberg, I like Steven Spielberg is one of my favorite directors of all time. But like you said, recently he's just not been up to the scratch. Think about it. You got Schindler's List, one of my favorite.
Same
movies
year as Jurassic Park.
Same year as Jurassic Park. You've got Saving Private Ryan. You've got AI. You've got.
Catch Me If You Can.
Catch Me If You Can. Yeah, you got so many.
Jaws.
Amazing. Yeah, I watched on the channel. I watched his first ever movie,
Duel.
Duel. However you want to say it.
I actually really. I haven't actually seen all of his films. There's still films I haven't seen. There's one called Empire of the Sun that I really want to see.
Oh, that's with
Christian Bale as
a kid. Yeah, I haven't seen that.
The Terminal I haven't seen. He did that.
Oh, Terminal's what, with Tom Hanks?
Yeah,
that's actually quite good.
I think he did that, didn't he?
I don't know. Let me just check.
I'm sure he did that.
Terminal.
So there's a few Spielberg films I haven't seen. I did watch I watched. I haven't seen Lincoln.
I've seen Lincoln.
I did watch War Horse. I thought that was good.
Yeah, War Horse was nice. It wasn't.
I didn't
amazing.
see like The Post or The Fabelmans.
No, I never saw.
I kind of wish I got around
Bridge of Spies.
Bridge of Spies. Yeah, I wish I got around.
Apparently
to
that was quite good though.
But again, maybe it's because we didn't have time watching films in the cinema because we're too busy with the channel.
Yeah, exactly. There are films that we wanted to see, but still haven't seen because we were going to watch it on the channel, and it's like been 4 years.
Yeah. But Emily Blunt, yeah, great casting.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I used to think she was a bit.
Did you?
Yeah, like a bit in roles that were like, like the Mary Poppins Jungle Cruise kind of roles that don't really allow her to show off her performance. But then she did a film with Tom Cruise, Live, Die, Repeat, or it went through Edge of Tomorrow, or All You Need. It had like 3 names.
Terrible marketing, but that was a great film.
Yeah,
that was a really good film.
Another film I rewatched, the one that I've watched 1,000 times, Alien. Because we were going to watch it on the channel, weren't we? And I was like, I really want to watch it again.
Yeah.
It has my favourite shot in all of cinema.
What's the shot?
When the alien is killing one of the crew members, and the cat's watching, and like the light and shadow are on the face of the cat.
I think I know.
Have
what
you
shot.
seen what I mean?
I think I know
yeah.
What the shot is, yeah.
Such a good shot. But it reminded me. I had a. Let me just grab something quick.
Yeah. What have you got?
It reminded me of I think because I've just moved house and I got all these. I had all the posters. I've got loads of film posters and some things that fans have sent us and stuff like that. And it reminded me of this one that somebody sent us, like a piece of art that they did.
Oh, I remember.
And, I don't know if you remember this one, but it says Cinema Rules.
That's crazy.
And that's not in the font of Alien. It's in the font of Aliens, which Sean knows. And for you guys, this will be absolute film sacrilege. I haven't seen Aliens. So that's why I wanted to rewatch Aliens. So my next watch,
which is crazy,
original watch, is Aliens.
How have you not?
Yeah, I know. I've seen, and Ridley Scott.
It's a better movie than Alien.
Yeah, I know. Ridley Scott doesn't direct Aliens. It's James Cameron, isn't it?
Mm-hmm. That's another reason why I think
I do like James Cameron. I do like James Cameron. I think he's a great filmmaker.
Yeah.
But Ridley Scott's my favourite director.
I don't know why you pick him. I really don't.
I don't.
He's overrated.
Alien, Blade Runner, Gladiator.
Right.
That trio of films you cannot argue against.
Aliens, yes. Blade Runner, I can guarantee you that 50% of the people are like, yeah, meh, for Blade Runner. There's a massive fan base for Blade Runner. And then what was the other one? Gladiator. There's so many interviews stating that Russell Crowe basically guided Ridley Scott through that movie, that movie and creating it to what it is.
I tell you what, when Gladiator 2 comes out, which is about December time, isn't it?
Yeah, Russell Crowe's not in it.
Still not a
Yeah.
Is he?
Yeah.
Is he? I don't know about that, mate. I've got a feeling. They might do something there. I know, but it's his son, isn't it? I do think, you're butchering it. I mean, and I was so disappointed with Napoleon as well.
I really was excited about
that. Kingdom of Heaven director's cut, great film.
The one film that from Ridley Scott that I really want to see that you bang on about, is it Duel of Fates or something?
No.
That's a the Star Wars
Duel.
Thing. The Last Duel
with, that was
Adam Driver.
That was really weirdly structured because they have 3 sections and it's almost told from different perspectives, different of characters' perspectives. Adam Driver, Matt Damon, but and Jodie Comer. Yeah. So it was quite. I did like that one. I think that was underrated a bit actually.
Yeah, I need to watch that.
But The Martian wasn't one of his best films, but it was a good film. I think Matt really Damon carried that though.
Yeah, Martian was good.
So he is a good director.
But I'm not saying that he's not. I just think he's a bit overrated.
Alien, oh man, it's such a good
horror movie
film. It's original. The effects are great still. And I still think back to when I watched it for the first time. I did not have a clue that guy was an android. Yeah.
No. Yeah.
Yeah. And
now you kind of expect it from alien movies.
I do think Ridley Scott directed Prometheus, which I actually think is underrated.
I think so.
I didn't like Alien Covenant.
Now, let me say
I was
something.
disappointed with
Because I was about to say something. I think Alien Covenant, the first half of it, was... I say the first half, probably the first half an hour, was extremely promising. Them, I love them arriving to the planet, trudging through the jungle, and just the sound design of... And I think that one of the characters recognises it. It's like, there's no birds. There's nothing in the forest making any noise, which is creepy. It's eerie. And then when the first alien, like the white albino alien, comes out and starts killing everyone in the dark, I was like, this is Alien back, man. And then it went off to a flute playing fucking robot, and I don't care anymore.
But my problem with the Alien franchise and what it's become, because there's Alien Romulus coming out,
which is directed by Fede Alvarez, who directed the Don't Breathe and Evil Dead 2013.
Yeah, and I like 2013's Evil Dead, so I'm looking forward to it. But my one thing is, like, Ridley Scott was taking it in some kind of weird philosophical direction, and I was actually interested and intrigued.
Yep.
But because of the backlash, I think he tried to go back to exactly the same with Alien,
but with an
as Alien. He tried to go back to the original Alien, right? And tried to copy his original film.
Yeah.
And I think Fede Alvarez, again, they keep saying, we're taking it back to Alien and Aliens, so they're having a mixture of the two. We're taking it back. But are you just appeasing fanboys and just getting rid of originality in film? Are we just going to forever recycle the same films and have 10 films in the series now?
It's a good question.
And I can see next year, I can see the year after, someone saying, like they did it with Halloween, didn't they? Oh, we're going back. We're doing what made the original great. Well, yeah, okay, but all you get is a mediocre-ish version of the original film.
Yeah,
and nobody's ever going to like it more because it was not the original film.
Yeah.
It's not originally. So that's why I liked Ridley Scott's direction. I think there were some bits in Prometheus that are a bit meh, but I know I'm an idiot and I don't know what I'm talking about because I haven't seen Aliens. So
yeah, true. Everyone's going to be like, well, how can you comment on anything to do with it when you haven't seen Aliens? I'll talk about it. The best film in the franchise.
I watch Aliens and I'll talk about it on here.
Have you seen Aliens 3?
No, I haven't seen 3 or 4.
Oh, okay.
Isn't 3 David Fincher?
It is, yeah.
Yeah. It must be good then.
But shall we do this game?
Yeah. Do you want to talk about TV first?
Oh yeah.
Because we're going to talk about TV.
What's out this week?
Look.
It's Game of Thrones season. House of Dragon. House of the Dragon.
Really gets on my nerves. You keep saying House of Dragon. It's House of the Dragon.
Yeah, but is it Game of Thrones or is it the Game of Thrones?
Game of Thrones.
Okay, that's why I call it House of Dragon because
the book is actually called A Game of Thrones.
A Game of Thrones, but it just sounds better.
House
of Dragon, Game of Thrones.
No.
House of Dragon.
House of the Dragon. The dragon is the sigil, the power of House Targaryen. You've seen the episode.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Can I just say something? I was eating at the same time. I was looking down at my food, and I heard something that made me go, "What?" And it was the Winterfell theme at the beginning.
Yeah, I picked up on that.
I stopped eating. I was like, straight away. Oh my god!
The one thing that I thought it did really well, it takes you back and captures that place again, like the world of Game of Thrones.
Yeah. That was one of my critiques about the first season.
Yeah.
That it was obviously it's called the House of the Dragon, but it didn't really explore other regions of the realm.
Yeah, but so they have to start together and then they split up for this season.
Which is fine. And I like that. I like that.
My issue with the first season is it could have been 2 because of I think the aging
was done fast.
And it happened with some characters, like the kids would age up, the older actors wouldn't. Then the older actors do age up, and it was a bit disjointed. And I don't know why I'm worrying about this because I find it easy to keep up with the characters. But but for some reason in my head, I'm like, I have a problem with it because I think the
other people will.
An audience that isn't necessarily engrossed in the lore or the books might not know who the characters are.
Yeah, I don't know.
And I watch it with someone who doesn't, who keeps asking who the characters are.
Oh, okay.
So maybe that's a problem as well.
Yeah.
the other thing is that it's been so long since season 1 because of the actors' strike.
How long has it been? Like 4 years?
Nah, it can't be that long.
3 years.
How long? Go on.
So 2022. So
2 years then.
Not even 2 years.
2
Tom.
years, but in a year and a half. TV though, in TV terms.
But I like that. Yeah. The one thing that I'm hating, the one thing that the news that I found today regarding Game of Thrones is they've started filming the new spin-off.
And Knight of the Seven Realms, or the Seven Kingdoms.
Knight of the Seven Kingdoms,
which is based on another one of his books. This is my problem.
This is my problem.
We're going to get sick. We're going to get so. We're going to oversaturation.
It's just It's just Star Wars all over again.
Now I chose for the first time in my life, Sean, to not watch the new Star Wars show. It's just out recently. It's not even finished yet. It's called The Acolyte.
Yeah, it's like my 3rd or 4th time I've chosen not to watch a Star Wars show.
I loved Andor. I liked Ahsoka. I thought it was all right. Boba Fett was good. Boba Fett, yeah.
I didn't watch Boba Fett. I didn't watch the 3rd season of Mandalorian.
I haven't actually watched the 3rd season of Mandalorian, but it's the problem, isn't it? Oversaturation.
Too much.
Oversaturation.
I don't care anymore.
No.
And someone put it perfectly online. They said that the reason why Star Wars was so special is because we had 3 films, and we had 3 films for like how many decades? A couple of decades.
Star Wars was our childhood as well, because we were born in 95, right?
Yeah.
The Phantom Menace came out in 99.
Yeah.
3 years later, Attack of the Clones came out.
Yeah.
3 years later, Revenge of the Sith,
Mm-hmm.
and in between that, you got like the Lord of the Rings, you got the Harry Potter films. So you grow up, and there's quite a bit of time apart from the Harry Potter ones and Lord of the Rings, because they were consecutive years, weren't they? I think, but you grow up with them, and then there's something special about them. And I'll always think the 6 Star Wars films are great. I don't care what anyone says.
But this is the thing. Like, the reason why Star Wars is so special is because we had less of it. So we focused on those 3 or 6 movies. That was all of our Star Wars content. So we held it precious. We held it close to our chest because that's all we had.
Yeah.
Now, since Disney, and that's why, after Disney took over and the Force Awakens trailer came out, everyone was like, "Oh my god!" Because it had been so long, and we're finally getting new Star Wars content. And then when they release this show, The Acolyte, which is about Siths back in the day, that should be like, "Oh my god, I can't wait for that." That's amazing. No one cares because
it's because of oversaturation. Yeah. And the one thing as well I'd say about the Game of Thrones spin-off that they've got a problem with Star Wars is you're having audiences that are starting to think, well, where is this in order of Game of Thrones? They'll think, is this after? People will think it's after Jon Snow, or Jon Snow's still around, or so it makes a bit of a problem, doesn't it? I know the fans will still probably enjoy it, and House of the Dragon, episode 1 of season 2, I had a great time watching it.
There's a weird way of putting it since how it ended.
Oh yeah, it's thrilling. Well, I've actually read the book as well, the Fire and Blood.
Yeah, don't say anything about the spoilers or anything like that. It's a little bit
different, but
I hate the fact that you've done that.
Why?
Because you just know. It's like I understand why you've read the book and that you enjoy reading the book, but for someone that loves film and TV so much, I feel like I'll just ruin it for myself.
I did. I read this book the other day called Dissolution, which was a historical thing, a historical fiction, and they just brought a show out on Disney Plus called Shard Lake, which is that. It's like Sean Bean's in it, and it's nowhere near as good as the book.
Yeah,
but it does kind of throw it for you.
But knowing what's going to come, it's like it's like sitting next to someone in a film, and then we're like, this is going to happen now, and then it happens.
But that's great though, because I was waiting for that end of the episode because I knew it was going to happen.
Yeah,
but you didn't know what was going to happen. So when it did happen, were you like, oh my god, this is just going to kick off now? So like, kick off the war.
So I thought the war had already kicked off, and then that happened.
A Son for a Son, the episode was called.
Yeah, and we'll get into spoilers. So click off now if you don't want to. But the 2, what would you call them, mercenaries,
Yeah,
kill.
they were hired, weren't they?
Yeah, hired.
They're called Blood and Cheese in the book.
Blood and Cheese. That's a good nicknames. But yeah, they kill one of the sons or daughters. We don't.
It's the son.
It's the son. Yeah, at the end.
They killed the son of
the king.
The king, yeah.
Which ain't gonna go down well with him.
We haven't even seen his reaction yet,
Nope.
or the mother.
But it's interesting because he, throughout the episode and throughout the series so far, actually, he's kind of teetering on the edge of insanity, recklessness and empathy.
Yeah, he's not as bad as, he's nowhere near as bad as Joffrey, obviously, isn't he?
No.
But he's also immature and infantile. He gets drunk. We've been seeing that. Doesn't care about his wife, who's also his sister.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a problem.
Yeah, which is really weird. By the way, I saw that because the person who plays his mother, Allison's the character. I think that the age difference between them is like really small.
Really?
Yeah, because of the age of, I don't know, but yeah, I think he didn't have much to do in season 1, did he? But I think he's going to be a good character.
Yeah, I think so. But the fact that she had to choose and point at one child, that was messed up. And then you could hear
notice. Yeah. There's a stabbing.
No, it was the cutting of the head.
Oh,
they were cutting off the head. They were sawing. That's what I thought
it was.
Grim. That's grim.
But, it was brutal. It's down there as one of the most brutal things, even though they didn't show
see
it on the screen.
But that's what makes it worse.
People were complaining about that, and I'm like, what? You want to see that on the blooming TV screen? But I liked it because when they were around the kind of council chamber, the council table, Otto Hightower, who's his grandfather, the king's grandfather, the Hand of the King, was arguing they need to be more reserved and not go full
and he was just like, I want to get my dragon.
Now they're going to hate him, aren't they?
Yeah, true.
The dragons are cool. Oh, it's through the throwback to how Rhaenyra's son was chomped to bits by the big dragon.
Yeah. When she was on the beach?
On the beach and saw the kind of the broken wings of the dragon.
Yeah.
Was good. But the worst, what made it worse for me was that Helena's the queen, isn't she?
Yeah.
Not that she had a kid die, but when she was like all like shocked and didn't know what to do and went into her mum's chamber. She was there,
emotionless almost.
She was there getting it on with that Kristen Cole or whatever. That was.
I love it because it's focusing a lot on the drama of
the interconnection.
That's how we
family. That's how we describe. So like interconnected.
That's how we describe season 1. It was basically a family drama. Because of the king, he was trying to get everyone to play along with one another. It's basically a family drama, but just set in the Game of Thrones world. I just hope we don't get tired of it. I hope it's just not oversaturated.
Well, they made a deliberate choice to cut it down to 8 episodes, and I know people complained about the last season of Game of Thrones for that reason.
Yeah,
but I think they've probably chosen it to keep the pace.
Well, there's not as much content.
Yeah,
because this is based on one single book, isn't it?
Yeah, it's like a history book as well.
It's not a narrative, is it?
What do you think of the guy that plays Aemond Targaryen with the eye patch?
I think he was brilliant in the first season. This episode, I was just like, are you actually acting, or are you just looking? Are you sitting there just looking mysterious?
Smile. He's got the face shape, hasn't he? And is that what he's doing?
He was out of Saltburn.
He was. He was in a show called The Last Kingdom as well. But I want him to go mad. I want him to be angry and see what he does.
Because he's very level-headed.
Yeah, because Matt Smith's still quite a good casting, I think, and so is Rhaenyra.
Yeah.
I
wish they continued straight off from the end of season 1 though, because when Aemon's dragon killed Rhaenyra's son, his facial expression was like, "Oh fuck, I didn't mean to do that."
To say they didn't even really acknowledge it.
No. He did. It was just a very interesting reaction because I think he was just playing about. He was just wanted to scare him. It wasn't anything. And the fact that he killed him, I think there was a lot of empathy and
that's what's
and good. I wanted to carry on from that. I wanted him to be like, I wanted to have a scene with him where he sets his dragon down and he's just like, what have I done?
Yeah, that's what's good about the difference between the book and there's no spoilers, but the book and the TV show is that in the book, the historical perspectives are written by sources on each side.
Yeah.
And it's actually different what happens in the show, because it's like, no, this is the truth of what happens, not the twisted version.
Yeah.
So they say that like he brutally kills him and he purposely eats
so
him
there's,
off the
because it's a
dragon.
history book, it's inaccuracies. There's inaccuracies.
Yeah. So they actually, this made it more realistic or something. But
Yeah.
knowing what happens and some of the things that happen, like, I'm really excited to see what happens.
Oh.
Yeah. I don't know if it'll happen this season, but
How many seasons do you think they'll do of House?
I think
House
they'll
of the
only
Dragon?
go for like 5.
That's still quite a lot.
Yeah, I think they'll go for 5. They might even only go for 4. That could be a way out of the oversaturation, couldn't it?
Yeah,
Condensed.
Because yes, the new spin-off shows just being filmed as we speak, but it was probably going to be another 2 years until that comes out.
Well, if it's being filmed now, it'll come out before season 3 of House of the Dragon, won't it?
Do you think?
I don't know. I don't know. House of the Dragon season 3 has already been renewed, but I don't know.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah.
Right. I'm excited. You're excited?
I am.
Let's do our game. Right.
Where are these whiteboards?
I've got some whiteboards. I've got mini whiteboards, sure. Oh.
So, as we said previously, this is a game segment called My Film
Is Better Than Your Film.
Is Better Than Your Film. We will both write... and we're choosing the genre. The genre is horror, obviously.
We've got to do horror because it's the genre, isn't it?
It's the genre of the channel, really. We'll both choose a horror film that we like, and we'll then show each other, and we'll then argue as to why ours is better than the others. So, I know what I'm picking.
Okay.
What if we pick the same film?
we could do, couldn't we? We could pick the same film. Right, let me think.
Hopefully you can read my writing.
I'm just thinking. Let me just think.
Tommy should have come more prepared. Oh, you've written it down?
Have you not written yours down?
Yeah, I've written mine down.
Yeah.
I thought you were looking up a film.
No. Okay.
Are we ready?
Are you ready?
3, 2, 1. Psycho.
The Thing.
And The Thing.
Damn.
Right, Tom, why is Psycho better than The Thing?
Right.
He just doesn't think it is.
Right. Psycho has established modern horror and has had more impact on the film landscape of horror than any other than any other horror film.
Modern horror? Are you sure about that?
I took out modern there.
Okay.
I said it established and influenced the genre far, far more than The Thing ever has.
I can understand that.
The Thing was a little bit popular when it came out, but
hang on a minute. Is this your argument for The Thing?
No. The Thing was quite popular when it came out, I think, but and now it's considered a great, but it was nowhere near as popular as Psycho when Psycho came out. Alfred Hitchcock's black and white masterpiece, the origin of the slasher genre. Okay. I mean, and I know it's not because there was a film called Peeping Tom, and Black Christmas.
Yeah,
but
Black Christmas came after
popularized
Psycho,
it.
After Psycho.
Oh yeah, this one popularized it far more.
Yeah, that's fair.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I win. Game over.
I mean, even though despite they're both horror movies, that's a slasher and this is a sci-fi horror. So they're completely different.
So you've chosen a science fiction film, not a horror film.
Wow, sci-fi horror. So I wouldn't say that Psycho has had any influence on this movie. So not all horror. I would say slashers potentially, and teetering into other realms.
Decades.
Yeah.
Yeah, decades.
That's
only, Nightmare on Elm Street, Friday the 13th,
that's only because
Halloween.
That's only because
Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
It came first. Yes, I agree. The Thing, however, I would argue has influenced pop culture more than Psycho, not just film culture.
Interesting. Maybe. In what way?
So you've just off the top of my head, you've got games. You've got, and when I say games, I'm teetering into board games, video games. I've followed the concept of The Thing. You've got Among Us, you've got Secret Hitler, you've got Werewolf. So the game genre has
but it's
been
also,
heavily
but it's
influenced
also
by
not.
this
It's
film.
also not the actual first film to do that. Invasion of the Body Snatchers, the original film.
I wouldn't say that's. I wouldn't say that that's got the same vibe at all. I don't. It's a similar concept, but it's not the concept.
No. But one thing I would say about Psycho is that the performances in it are far better in terms of acting. The dialogue is better. Yeah. The actual cinematography and stagecraft of Alfred Hitchcock when he's producing those scenes.
Nobody goes to a horror movie. Nobody wants to go to the. Nobody wants to go to the cinema to see a horror movie for its dialogue, Tom.
No, but the dialogue is what invests you in the scene, and you're worried whether or not she is going to get brutally killed.
Understand.
And then she does. The biggest shock twist in modern... I keep saying modern.
Yeah.
In horror.
Yeah.
Is there a more shocking twist than her death in Psycho?
Tom.
Is there?
Tom.
I'm
not arguing it. I'm not arguing it. However, that's about 10 minutes, 20 minutes of the movie, or like one scene, maybe a couple of scenes. The entirety of the thing. First of all, you don't know what's going on. You don't know why they're chasing this dog down. So there's tension there, yeah? And you don't even know where the tension is coming from. You don't even know what the tension is. And then, Tom, not only that, with many horror films, when the monster is revealed, yeah, it takes you out of it. You're like, oh, okay, the tension's gone. It's just a monster. You know, the more you see, the less you're scared.
I'll tell you what.
But with the thing, Tom, hang on a minute. With the thing, when the monster is revealed, the tension actually is heightened because it is blending in with your friends.
I'll tell you what.
Your family.
I'll give you one thing.
Yeah.
The physical practical effects in the thing are on another scale, right? On another level.
Revolutionary.
Yeah,
Probably the best practical effects put to film.
But you don't need that in Psycho, because what's more scary than the possibility of a human being pure evil?
That's just a weak argument.
Any one of us. When he
don't
looks
need it in Psycho because the plot doesn't allow
when
for
he
it.
looks into the camera at the end of that film,
Yeah.
and he smiles.
Yeah.
What's more sinister? What's more ominous?
Yeah, you know.
What's
Tom,
more horrific?
You know.
Than the human psychopath.
Yeah, when he looks into the camera, you know. When there's two men left, Kurt Russell and the other guy, I can't remember his name, and they're both looking at each other, yeah, and then the music, Tom, dun dun.
That's Jaws.
No. Yeah, the music. Yeah. Them looking at each other in the cold,
which is just a slower version of the music in
a burning landscape, Tom. A burning landscape, and you don't know if either of them are the thing. You don't know whether they've destroyed it, and then cut to black. Leaves you wanting more, and it leaves you questioning, and it leaves the ending up for interpretation, which is what every great movie does.
But the thing is,
that does not leave you up to interpretation.
I think you'll find you'll be questioning the sanity of everybody you meet.
Oh yeah, okay.
Who is capable, of such horrific crimes? Okay. When he's dressed in his own mother's clothes, and it turns out he's been imitating her voice. You see the shadow, the silhouette of the house there, Bates Motel, and you see the body of his mother. Okay, brutal.
To be fair, I'd be pretty scared if you came in your mother's clothes and started running.
Yeah, that's how I'm doing the next podcast. Oh man!
But wait, hang on a minute. Would you be more scared of a human running at you, with a knife, or a head with fucking spider legs coming out of it chasing after you?
I would be more scared of the thing, but the problem is...
There you go, horror.
No.
Argument
complete. The problem is, you don't even get to know that the psycho is going to kill you until he rips back that curtain and stabs you in the flesh.
You're not even going to know who the thing is.
The thing is, this is reality, Sean. This is true.
That's not an argument. You can't.
This can happen.
No, you can't.
Okay,
you can't.
There's no aliens from space coming down.
You cannot have that argument with a film. Okay, that is more real.
So you're telling me the auteur known as Alfred Hitchcock is not as good as Carpenter?
I would say Alfred is more influential. However, as we have come to learn on the channel with Carpenter, he has produced very many cult classic movies.
Do you know what I love about Psycho though? I mean, Carpenter has produced cult classic movies, but
many of them.
But so did Alfred Hitchcock at the time. The only reason I think it's not influenced pop culture as much is because of the time delay and the difference. You know, North by Northwest, is it? I think it's called. The Birds, Rear Window, all just as considered in high regard. And I think if you totaled up, if you looked at IMDb's score of The Thing and Psycho, I think we wouldn't even need to have this debate.
I don't even know what they are.
Neither do I. No, I didn't look. Okay. Honestly.
Well, wait, before we check
I actually looked to make sure I spout Psycho right.
Before we check, I just want to say I want to close out my argument.
Okay,
with one
closing
thing.
arguments.
So, did you know that with Psycho's release, Alfred Hitchcock did his best to keep the entirety of the plot of Psycho a complete secret from the audience, thus creating this impact that can now be felt in decades to come. Yeah.
So you're saying that it was a marketing ploy that made its popularity?
I'd say it contributed heavily. However, if we take Psycho's concept and if Hitchcock filmed it and released it in today's age, or even in the 80s, I'd say today's age, it wouldn't have as much of a bigger impact.
Sean,
hang on a minute. But if The Thing, which had a big impact on its release, was released back in the 60s, it would have the same impact. So, which is the more superior film?
That's ridiculous.
It's a more timeless film.
Okay, my closing arguments.
Which is more timeless
My
film.
closing arguments then. You cannot say that you can release The Thing in the past because of its technical superiority.
Hang on a minute. There's nothing really technical
well,
about it.
The
Just
practical effects, the colour. No, that's quite.
You
quite
could still
technical.
do that back in the 60s.
And can I just say that they did?
Not.
They did release The Thing. There's called The Thing from Another Planet, which is what this is actually based on. This is a remake, Sean.
It's
okay.
It's a remake.
Okay, and
it's
it wasn't
completely different.
And it wasn't actually that.
Have you seen
it wasn't.
Have you seen the two movies? No, they are completely.
But
different.
I have also seen another remake they did of The Thing, which was a prequel version, 2011, and that didn't also do very well. So,
but that's only because it used CGI.
My question is, I think sometimes when you have a sci-fi film, it's the spectacle. Okay, but when you have an original slasher story like this, and all you have is one setting, basically two actors, two performers, and the magic of the camera, you get Alfred Hitchcock's Psycho. Right, let's let you guys decide who won that debate there. If I was actually choosing,
which one would you pick?
I'd pick The Thing.
Yeah.
But that's not the point, Sean.
No, you did. You put forward some very good, valid points, and you did your best. I just think my film speaks for itself.
Yeah. Now let's let the guys and gals at home decide.
Yeah, comment down below which one you prefer, and give us some comments as to why you think The Thing is better, or why you think Psycho is better.
That's actually for our first podcast. We've gone on way longer than I thought we would.
What's the time?
5:45.
Oh, it's about an hour. An hour. But yeah, no. That would wrap up our first episode.
Yeah.
I guess.
I mean, we can't take comments now, but I guess if you have any questions that you want us to answer about anything film related or otherwise, then drop it on the video and we can answer them at the end of next podcast.
Yeah, I did have some questions by the Patreon guys. So, we'll answer that in the next episode. I think some of them were answered in the prologue. But if you do want some questions answered, comment down below in the YouTube video, or I don't even know if you can comment on like Spotify. I don't think you can, or Apple Music, Apple Podcasts. But if you want to, more content or this content sooner than it is released to the general public, link in the description for our Patreon page is down below. You can find this podcast on all of the streaming platforms, Spotify, Apple. I keep wanting to say Apple Music, just Apple, I guess. But I don't know how we're going to release them onto those. I think I know, but when this episode comes out, it should be. They'll be there. They'll be there. It'll be called the Cinema Rules Podcast. So.
Thanks for joining us. We'll see you in episode 2.
Yeah, next week, next Sunday. Thank you very much.
See you next time.
Thanks for joining us.
Suckers bear.
The Thing.